So summer league ended. Let's see what happened. Let's see how it ended. And in the end, let's see what team won. Summer league, it's always a time where we get to see a big, push from young stars to, make themselves known. And it's been a phenomenal thing for the league, in my opinion, especially since Summer League, for a lot of guys, has become the way for them to prove themselves to teams. Like Summer League used to be this thing where it was like, oh, if you're a top draft pick, you have to play so that the fans can see you, in an NBA court. But recently, Summer League has changed to more of, look, if you're a top draft pick, Summer League is made to use and see you for the first time against other NBA level players, right? Not against NBA competition, but against NBA level players. And also, if you're a guy who, you want to get into the NBA, you're a young guy who doesn't have a lot of run, the teams need to have a Summer League roster. They need to have, I think, 15 guys for Summer League. And I'm saying that to say that there are people on the end of that Summer League bench, right, who will, put up numbers just because they want teams to sign them. And that's the beauty of Summer League. Apart from it being just a league where a lot of young guys get to play, they get to get run in, you get to see them, and a lot of people do get to, have their big games and show the world who they are. It also helps with the signing of new players, right, into these teams, who now might sign them or let them go. I want to talk about the Summer League finally wrapped up. How the Summer League works is basically just a series of games, and it's based off of record. So if you have if you don't lose any games, then it goes on to a bracket system, and basically it's whoever, I think the two teams which are undefeated or who have the best record face off in the finals. I don't know if it is by conference, but so So basically, you play, I think it's 5 games in the entire Summer League. And how it works is that, the number 1 seed, the number 2 seed, the number 3 seed, and the number 4 seed all play. And they all get some running. It's obviously something just to make the league interesting. And in the end, 2 teams which were undefeated in the entire Summer League, which were the Houston Rockets and the Cleveland Cavaliers, faced off in the finals, and they went at each other. And the Cleveland Cavaliers won the Summer League championship. Now, of course, this is a Summer League championship. This doesn't mean anything to your career. And if you never get a ring, then you probably, will take this and just, take it as a laughing stock, right? And be like, oh, this is the only ever ring I won. Or you're just going to take that and be like, okay, that was cool, but now I'm trying to be a real NBA player and get a real ring. But in my opinion, something that you have to look at is like a point guard like QJ Peterson. He's a Knicks point guard, and I wanted to talk about him because I read his story, and basically he came in and his agent had offered him, a spot on the Summer League team, and he said yes, and he played his heart out because Tibbs had told him, right, like, yo, to be a good player and to be noticed, you have to play a lot of defense and you have to play for the team. And then in the end, he ended up doing that. And then he started getting like a lot of minutes. He got into the Knicks rotation in the Summer League, and in the end, he ended up being one of the guys who stood out the most, and he dropped like 27 points in a game. And I want to say that was just one of the examples of a guy who really put, all the chips on himself, bet on himself, and really, played to win. So the way the summer league works, it's like its own regular season. Is just much shorter, and it's only rookies and young players. You know, there is a champion, which are the Cleveland Cavaliers. Isaiah Mobley took on home the MVP, as in the championship game. He put up 28 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 assists and 2 blocks. And what I do want to say is that if he's going to be that good in the league, then the Cavaliers and the Mobley brothers are scary, right? Like, of course, I don't think he's going to do that in a playoff game. He's a rookie, and he wasn't that highly touted. But, like, that's a pretty good stat line to put up in a championship game, even if it doesn't mean anything in the grander scheme of things. Sam Merrill also got, he got 27 points off 6 3-pointers, and those two guys were really who made the Cleveland Cavaliers win, right, and who stood out. We have to say shout out to Imani Bates, as he had been one of the best players in the whole summer league. Consistently, he looks like Baby Durant, and in my opinion, Imani is a real hooper. I like that he's actually got run with a team who's gonna use him. The Cleveland Cavaliers needed wings, and they're not going to be scared to just play him because something is better than Isaac Okoro. So, in my opinion, I like this. For the whole summer league, Cam Whitmore took the MVP from the Rockets. He averaged like 25. He was insane. And really, it was because of his consistent dominance and him leading his team to the finals. Cam Whitmore was a prospect who, for most of the draft, was touted as a really high draft pick. But when it got time to actually draft him, they drafted him 20th overall. That probably is going to add fuel for the rest of his career. In my opinion, the Rockets got a crazy good pickup. And if they put him in at like the small forward position, even if it's off the bench, then in my opinion, he will do great things. I know that they have like Dylan Brooks now, but I prefer the young guys over the vets. Then they released the all summer league teams. Here we have. I'm gonna read them off to you. The first team is Keontae George from the Jazz. He went insane. Sam Merrill from the Cavs. As we saw, he went insane, especially in that last game. Orlando Robinson from the Heat, which could have won MVP too of the whole summer league. Hunter Tyson from the Nuggets, and it's scary that the Nuggets got a first team all summer league because they already had Christian Braun, who went to the finals and won a championship with them, and Cam Whitmore from the Rockets, which obviously won MVP. The second team, we have Max Christie from the Lakers. I mean, he had a year in the NBA, and even though he didn't play much, that year of experience probably made him be great. Javon Freeman Liberty from the Bulls. I don't know who that is, so I won't give my opinion. Xavier Moon from the Clippers. Also don't know who that is. Imani Bates from the Cavs. Jabari Smith Jr. from the Rockets, and Jalen Wilson from the Nets. Jabari, in my opinion, should have not been in this list. I do understand that he played 2 games of summer league and he went absolutely ballistic in those, even hitting a game-winning 3. But I mean, he's an NBA player and he didn't play all the games of summer league. So how are you going to give him the awards? With summer league ending, I want to leave with some valuable lessons. First, I want to say that I like the top 3 draft picks. I like Victor Wembanyama. I think he's going to be a great player. I like Scoot. And Brandon Miller, even though he doesn't convince me, he looks just like a young Jason Tatum, who right now he hasn't gotten his bag fully developed yet. But in the future, it does look like his confidence will grow. And he is showing flashes of being a phenomenal player. It just looks like it's going to take time, and development from him to actually become better. I do like the Rockets and their rookies, how they look like. And honestly, looking at these rookies, it makes it less easy for me to let go the fact that they signed 2 veteran players. Even though you need vets, these rookies look good, and I like them to guide them, but you can't put on too much focus on these new vets, right? And finally, what I also want to say is I like the OKC Thunder. I like this summer league because it showed us three things. Victor and Scooter legit, right? The OKC Thunder are coming. I don't know when, but they definitely are. Their rookies were insane, and also the rookies in the NBA are becoming much better, and we have to cherish this because now we're seeing top tier basketball, right? In summer league, sometimes it looked like there were real NBA games and real highlights going on. And in my opinion, I had a lot of fun watching the summer league, the highlights and some of the games. And I think that the summer league has evolved a lot, and I do believe that this new draft class is going to be a very interesting one in the years to come, especially with these top two picks, Victor and Scoop.